Hi, Amar.
Hi Saurav, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Awesome, man. Great to see you.
Yeah, same here. Thank you so much for joining us today evening, despite you being so busy all the time. So, yeah, I'm so thankful to you for this.
Dude, not at all, man. Thank you so much for two things. First, inviting me. It's a pleasure. And second, all the things that you've been doing for photography community. Right? It's great. I've met so many guys who have gone on tours and who have gone on classes with you, and they talk great things about you. So I'm glad, and I'm glad we know each other for so many years now, and I'm glad this is happening thanks to COVID.
Yeah, thanks. And yeah, so guys, thank you so much for joining us. Let me tell you a little bit about Amar. I'm sure you know him quite well. He's a very popular wedding photographer. Now, one thing about Amar is, you see, there are a lot of people who are good photographers, who are great photographers, and there are some people who are good entrepreneurs. And Amar is a deadly combination of both. So he has been taking exceptional quality pictures, and of course he's a great entrepreneur as well. Now, one more thing about him which I really like is, you see a lot of people doing wedding photography and has been doing only wedding photography and most of people do it for a living, but they don't find time to do something which they like to do, some personal project. But Amar has been doing a lot of these kind of personal projects, and probably he'll be sharing some of us his inspiration, why he started doing those things apart from running. So he is not just after money, he is doing a lot of things for the society, giving it back to the people and sharing his knowledge. So he does a lot of classes as well to share his knowledge, and of course he has a very good team. So one more great thing about him is he has a great team, and he has been managing it really well. I think a lot of people who start, but then at some point of time they are not able to sustain a big team, and he has been doing it extremely well. So I welcome you, Amar. Thank you so much for joining us once again. So please tell us a little bit about your life journey as a photographer.
Oh, so this is the first thing that the people have been asking for the last 10 years, sort of.
Yeah.
First in the first couple of years, it is so exciting to tell the story and all that because initially also it was very unique, but later as time moved on, it stopped being so unique. So I'm going to put a little twist in my story and say what is more, relevant for this time, right?
Sure, sure.
So I typical Chennai boy. Only two options in life: either medical or engineering. I ate at the sight of blood, so I said, okay, I'll take engineering. And engineering, I grew up thinking that engineering is the only job I can do, right, in life. And so I always wanted to be an engineer. I studied engineering and then went to do my masters in US. Finished my masters in computer science. Started working in IT and worked for almost 6 7 years in a corporate company, and I perfectly enjoyed the work. Got like was well paid, and there was nothing to complain about. But there was something always in inside myself that is telling me, the life is not very exciting. I have to do something exciting in my life, and the only thing that I was doing exciting at that time was photography, and I was doing it in the evenings and in the weekends, and I was madly in love with it. Like I was super passionate about it. So maybe I thought, okay, I can do something in photography, but so I said, okay, I'm going to quit and try photography. But from the time that I took decision, I took like 2 years to test the waters. So I went and worked under photographers for money and saw if I can really make money through photography. So it took me 2 years to experiment that. And then after 2 years, when I got confidence that I'm getting paid and I can make money through this, and also I can make a living out of this, then I said, okay, I'm going to quit and get into photography. Quit the job, came back to India, started this, and then 10 years now we are here.
Great, great. So
So
one thing.
that's a long story short form
Right,
of
right.
my journey.
Great. So, one question is a very important question which I ask to some people who are really successful. So, there are a lot of, I mean, there are thousands of photographers who are really good, doing great work. So, what did you do differently that made you so popular or that made you so successful? What do you think you did differently from other people?
So there is not one thing, sort of. It's a combination of multiple things. There is never one thing that puts you, in takes you into a successful position, right? There are multiple things. It is
Right.
first the timing. It is first the uniqueness. When I started, there were very, very few wedding photographers, right? If will I do wedding photography in 2020? Will I start wedding photography in 2020? Maybe not, because there are millions of photographers, right? So it was something unique when I started. That is one thing. The advantage of being unique, the advantage of starting early, the time, and then the service, the discipline, the professionalism. So I basically brought in the experience from my corporate world into the work that I was doing. So which people were seeing, fresh, right? So all this mixed with, undeterred passion towards the art itself, is what took me here, I would say.
Great. And you were quite good in managing your business as well. So that's something which I really like about you. So I've been doing, uh, you have been managing it very efficiently, I should say. So how did you do that?
So, see, the thing is, from beginning, because it is not a thing that I came to make money, or not a thing that I came to, do as a work, right? It is my passion. It is something that I want to do day in and day out. It was something that I want to get up to do, wake up to do every morning. So I came in with that mindset, right? And then I started doing it, and then slowly it was going to a place where, okay, it is getting to be a work. So now I have to delegate things so that I can still do it happily, I can still do passionately, right? So then I started hiring people. Then this feeling of paying them every month, and then their life dependent on this thing that you're doing, right? And every month I would like now everything is online. It's bank transfer, automatic transfer, and all that, right? But initially it was an envelope with cash, so that you give on the first of every month, and you feel so good as an entrepreneur, right?
Right, right,
And I was like, wow, this is amazing. So we're doing what we like to do, and we're making money out of it. And also we are giving a life to somebody, right? And it's transforming somebody's life. Oh, this is so cool. I want to do more of this. I want more envelope covers every first, right?
awesome.
So I figured out, okay, picking up the camera and doing photography is not only my passion. And I figured out that you can have passions in multiple things, not in one things. So business also happened to be another thing that I'm passionate about, business and team building and all that. And basically, more than business and team building, it is transforming somebody's life through your work. You can take somebody's position from here to there, right? So I want
Right.
to do more of that. That's when I realized, okay, now I want to do more of these envelope cars. What do I do? How do I take it from a single person brand into a business?
Great, great. So did you have any formal training in photography, Amar?
Oh, I studied in the University of YouTube.
Okay. Okay.
And
Nice.
I think I passed. I barely passed. So yeah, it was all YouTube and blogs and all that, Saurabh. And I really have to be thankful for all the photographers who shared a lot of information online through their blogs, through their videos. And I'm talking about in 2007, 8, and 9, right? When it was all new. And luckily, one thing was, I was living in US, so I was following a lot of photographers in US, which at that stage was going through a revolution. Many photographers were coming openly and sharing their secrets and sharing the things that they learned, and also the mentors that I've been with. Right, there are three photographers under whom I was working for almost 2 years. So they taught a lot of things, and this is my education. That has been my training, and even now, right, like in the last 10 years, it has been blogs and YouTube and all that. So I'm not gone to a college, or I'm not gone to a university and trained in photography, which I think is irrelevant in these times, right? Like you can
Right,
basically sit in front of a YouTube and learn everything that they teach in IAM or IIT,
right,
right?
right,
So
right.
so I did everything online.
Great, great. So, Amar, I can't wait to go through your pictures. So, let us go through your pictures and then you tell us a little bit about how you shot them. And I'm more curious rather than any other shot to go through your Iceland pictures that
Oh
you
yeah,
have on your
sure,
blog.
sure.
So, I'm just going to Great. So please tell us a little bit about this shoot that you have done. So some really wonderful pictures. I don't needless to say, and please tell us a little bit about how you did this. And I know Iceland is so challenging to go, and shooting itself is so challenging because of the adverse weather. So how did you manage to do this whole shoot?
So, see, I think it all boils down to the intent, Saurav. See, if you have the intent, right? For me, taking pictures is what I love to do, and I feel um, like very. I feel so sure that that is what I was born to do. And I know for sure in my mind. Okay, and picking up a camera and shooting it makes me really happy, even if it's Marina Beach, or a local road, or in Iceland, right? So the thing is, you always want to push your limits and try something new. So the second thing is, the first thing is intent. So you have an intent to do something different, something unique, something out of the ordinary. Second is, you have to convince your client, right? Like so I generally, when clients come to me and they say, okay, let's have a couple shoot somewhere. Yeah, I try to first ask them what is the story, like what is meaningful to their lives, and what is like what are the places that they have in mind. And then sometimes it is a coffee shop right next door, or it is some place like this which is cool, right? So
Right.
luckily this client wanted to do something in Iceland because it has been a dream for both of them as a couple to go to Iceland. So it all worked out well, and I said, okay, let's do something in Iceland. And so before this, what I did, okay, I want to do a shoot in Iceland. I convinced a couple, and then I said, okay, these are the places I want to do. And we basically made some research on where to go, what to do, and what is the right time, and stuff, and what are the places to stay. So we kind of created a map, and kind of came with a plan, and worked with the designer to create some dress, like outfits, and then basically executed it. Yes, it is cold. Yes, it was challenging and all that, but ultimately you're doing what you love to do, right? So you just have to go through all that. I honestly don't remember all the hardships that I went through, because I only remember, oh, what a great time I was having, right?
Okay.
Yes, it is cold. Yes, we have to fight the weather and fight the timing and fight the rain and do it, but that's part of photography. That's what photography is.
Absolutely, absolutely. And guys, I must say that if you have not been to Amar's website, you must visit there. So I think my guesstimate is probably 20% of the photographers have their own website, and Amar has a very well built website. So if you go to his website, you will get to know everything about him. So I think everybody should have a website, every photographer, especially a person who is in commercial photography. So very well built, and you can see all about him and everything, his pictures, so done very very well. So so that's one, I think, very very important aspect of having a business, right, Amar?
Super. Yeah, I second that point, Saurabh. It's very important to have a professional website. It is very important to tell people what is your portfolio, and it is also important to have an updated website, right? Yes, we have moved on, and people have their Instagrams and Facebook, and all that as their portfolio. But just imagine, we put a lot of effort and time in Facebook 4 5 years back, and
Right.
now nobody gets into Facebook.
True, true.
Nobody is using Facebook. All the content that you put there, all the time that you spend is gone.
True.
And there is no doubt Instagram is going to be like that one day. You're going to be get bored about it, or you
Absolutely.
will have a new app that you will be addicted to, and you will leave Instagram and go. So where is this permanent place where your portfolio is this there? Where
Absolutely.
is where what is your property? Like, what is your own property? Is your website. You have to have your website and you have to keep updating it. Yes, it is extra work, but yeah, we have to do it.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, Amar, please tell us about some photographers who have influenced you and how.
Oh, it's so one thing about me that I'm really blessed and lucky about is sort of that I can learn from so many people. I learn from you. I learn from so many photographers. There is no one or two photographers. There is multiple photographers. To name a few, I've learned a great deal of stuff from the three photographers that I worked with: Jennifer, Ty, Mark, and Frank. The three people that I started working with. Then coming to online photographers, there are so many people: Chase Travis, Jerry Jonas, Roberto, and incidentally, they're all good like acquaintances now. I've met them many times, and I've spoken to them. Um, so Two Men Studios, Kerazi. There are so many photographers that I constantly learn with. I've learned a great deal of stuff from Henry Carter Bresson's books and James Natchway. So many people like constantly inspire me. Chris Bouchard. Yeah, like I said, it's not one or two people. There are so many people. Raghurai has a big influence on my work, and there are so many photographers in Chennai in my photography circle who do amazing work. I learn a lot from them. There is this group called Chennai Weekend Clickers, which does some amazing work. There are
Right.
some great photographers there.
True. True.
So I learn a big deal from them. So there are so many photographers who continuously on a daily basis inspire me so much. Um, yeah.
So, Amar, like you went to Iceland, and what kind of preparation would you do when you are going to a place like this? So, how do you plan everything?
So it is very different for different things, Saurabh. Like
Right.
let's say if I'm going for a wedding, right? After shooting almost 400 weddings now, I don't really prepare anything. I just take my camera and go and shoot and then be reactive to stuff happening there because I know what's
Right.
going to happen. I know in the back of mind what's going to happen next. What's next because I've shot so many times. I've done this so many times.
Right.
So there is honestly nothing majorly I'm preparing except the logistics and stuff with my which my team takes care of, like who's going where, what is the time of the event, who's the client, and all that, right? But photographically, I'm not doing anything to be honest, because I've done this so many times.
Right.
And so that is what is very very important. If you spend like 10,000 hours in a craft, you can be a master in that craft. So the thing is, you when you keep on doing and doing and doing it, you know what to do exactly, right?
Right.
But let's say if I'm shooting in a studio, right? If I want to make a dancer series, right? Then I'm sitting and going through inspirations. I'm going through books, I'm going through videos, I'm going through Pinterest. I'm taking a lot of inspiration from so many directions and coming up with techniques that I want to try. Let's say I want today my central focus is going to be slow shutter. Today my central focus is going to be um, um, high speed.
Right.
So things like that. I come up with techniques and then go through a lot of inspirations. Today my central theme is going to be paintings on pictures, right?
Okay.
So first step is getting the inspiration right. Then I work with the model and say these are the things I'm looking for. What do you think? Like, do we have any poses like that in the dance form? Do you have any instrument with you that you can carry with you? So I have a discussion with the model. Then I have a discussion with the stylist. So I talk to the stylist and tell them, okay, this color is what I want. So can you design a costume outfit in this color or a design? Then I talk to the makeup artist and say, hey, these are the looks that I'm envisioning in my mind. So when you're coming to do makeup, stick to this hairstyle and stick to this thing. And also many times I don't know what kind of makeup that we can do. So I sit with the makeup artist and see, okay, what are the different options that we can play here. This is the feel I want. So so then I come up with a mood board where okay, this is the color of the costume, this is the type of inspiration pictures that I want to make, and this is the makeup is going to be, and send it to the team and then execute it. let's say I'm doing an outdoor shoot, right? Then I'm thinking about, okay, what is the weather going to be? What is the timing of the shoot going to be? Should I do an early morning shoot or an evening shoot? Mostly my shoots are early mornings or evenings. So should I do in the morning? Should I do in the evening? If morning, what is the time that we have to go? Where is the hotel? And all those logistical things, right? So pretty much these are the things that I plan.
Right. Right.
Are you particularly looking at anything, or
No, I
no?
think
Doesn't make
that.
sense?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So, Amar, after doing it for some time, then you probably realized that you should do more with what you're doing. Probably it was getting you you found some reason to travel, and you were traveling around Tamil Nadu, and you did a book on Kanchipuram, which was really very. So, what really inspired you to do that book?
So, see, as a kid, we all hardly traveled, right? Like our parents were barely enough to be able to pay our fees and feed us. So we hardly traveled as kids, and then I lived in US for almost 10 years,
Right,
and you see all this very normal, very ordinary things projected in a great manner, and they put up a ticket, they have a guide, they have books, they have gift shops for a tree which is 200 years, right? Which is
right,
nothing, and then you drive up like 2 hours to see this one tree which is ticketed and which is marketed, which is packaged really well, right?
right,
And
right.
then all these 10 years I've been traveling in US and seeing multiple things on and on and on and like this, and I'm like, what the hell, man? Like, I'm from a country which has crazy history, crazy things are there, right? And it's spread out like a mustard in the kitchen, right? If you
Absolutely,
drop a bottle of
absolutely,
mustard for the next 2 months, you will have mustard all over the place,
absolutely.
right? It is like that in India. So I was very sure that, okay, I need to do something about this, and as a photographer, this is my purpose of life, to package in India in such a way that people will 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 take pride in it, people will see it as a cool thing, right? So, and unless we do this, our next generation going to know about this, right? For example, I'm working on a temple right now which is 1,000 years old, and the king who ruled it had a navy of 1,000 ships. He took an army of 9 lakh people to
Wow.
Southeast Asia, defeated kings in Thailand, Hong Kong, and so many places there, right? And captured a lot of islands. So all these stories are lost. Our like, at least we had history in our subject. We heard these names, but now with the education system change and everything, you can actually choose to not have history in your class, right? And we are going to lose all this. And if you see globally, there is a movement to homogenize everything, right? It's
Right,
every corner
right.
will have a Starbucks, every corner will have a McD, and you, wherever you go, it will all be the same, which is not right. And we come from a very rich culture. Our history is
Absolutely.
just mind blowing, and our ancestors have figured it out, figured everything, astronomy, physics, science, everything they figured. So how do we tell this to the world? And yes, I've been put on this earth with a talent. What am I doing with that talent? What is my purpose in life, right? So what do I do with what I know? And so that's the question I keep asking every day. So, and that is the seed for all the other things that happens. So this temple which I worked for my as a first book, which released in 2017, is about a temple in Kanchipuram. It's called Kailasanatha Temple. It is again 1,300 years old.
Right,
And the sculptures there, the history behind the temple is just mind blowing. And for the first 30 years of my life, I didn't know about this temple, which was only 60 kilometers from my house.
right,
My parents did not tell me about it. My teachers did not tell me about it. The society did not tell me about this. And I would not have seen the temple if not for photography, right? So, okay, I want at least 1,000 members to know the name of this. I want at least 100 members to read the book and get to know more about this. I want at least 10 people to be inspired and come visit the temple, because it's standing there alone, without without people going and seeing it. In fact, more foreigners come and visit those temples than the local people, right?
Right.
So I want to create the change. I want more people to, get to know about our land, our thing. And people, when you say travel, people always are thinking about, hey, let's go to Thailand, let's go to Europe, let's go to all these places. Yes, you can, but there are
Right.
so many wonders in India.
Absolutely.
start
Absolutely.
start going to these places, right?
Absolutely.
So in a way, I want to start a discussion about all these things, and that I feel is my purpose, and that I feel very strongly about. So I'm working on a project where I bring these temples into foray, temples which are not commercially popular, um, but historically super significant, but very few people know about it or heard about it. These temples should be like monuments on every books, and everybody in India should know about these temples, but they don't know, because our textbooks were changed, history has been changed, and so
Right.
many things have been, isolated, right?
Right. Right.
So what can I do? Is the pursuit.
Great, great. And I remember you writing about it that you woke up very early in the morning, you went there, and in the afternoon you had nothing to do, so you would sleep under a tree and then again go there in the evening. So very, very inspiring. So how you
So yeah, so I'm doing this on my personal interest, right? So
right,
obviously I can't spend on hotels and all that. So what I do, I go there, shoot the temple early in the morning, and then during the afternoon I have my laptop and sit there and work, or sleep in the temple itself during the bad light times, and then shoot the sunset and come back home. So I did it several times, in fact. And I worked on the first book for almost 8 months, and the second book now it's taking a longer time. It's like 3 years now almost. I still have some pictures left that I have to finish, and hopefully next year the book will be released.
great. That's awesome. And please tell us a little bit about the. I remember you were working on some short films, and they were so engaging, so very interesting, and taking out. I mean, doing films on very ordinary people who have made so much of difference to people's lives. So please tell us a little about how you started that.
So again, I'm super passionate about photography, and I'm super passionate about telling visual stories, right? And then I also want to do a lot of documentaries, and I want to make stories on people who cannot afford to make stories on, right? And again, going back to the purpose, and the reason why I'm here is to make use of photography, that is the talent that I've been put on earth to do, and change lives, change, bring in transform in lives, right? So um, so it was a very random email that came into my inbox saying that we have a 100 hours short documentary, social documentary competition. Do you want to participate in it? And I was like, okay. It was September and there were no weddings, and we have done with all the work. We had some free time. So I said, okay, let's get together, do a small film, and it has to be done in 100 hours. So I said, okay, it's quick, it's quickly we'll do it and see what happens, right? Our first film was on a guy who feeds 3,000 parrots every day, morning and evening. So his life purpose
Great,
is to just feed these parrots every day.
great,
So we did a story on him. We worked with him, and then those 3 days was just amazing. Spending time with this person was so inspiring, right? And then I was like, "Wow, this is awesome. We have to do more of this. We have to do more of these stories. We have to bring out more of these stories and tell the world." And we sent it out to the competition. And before the results came, we have done actually 4 or 5 films, even before the results came out. And the result came out, we won the first prize, and then for years,
awesome.
like next 3-4 years, we were winning so many awards with the short films that we've been making. So the idea of Big Short Film is to create a platform through our visual stories that connects seekers and donors. Seekers are somebody who need help, and donors are somebody who can help, but don't know the right place, right? So we do films on inspiring people who do extraordinary things with the little that they have, and connect them with some amazing people. So, for example, we made a story on a traffic police,
Yeah,
and that went viral,
I
and
remember
it
that. Yeah,
got
yeah, it was
promoted.
awesome.
Yeah. So we made a story on a orphanage, and that got funds immediately in 2 weeks. They made like around 10 lakhs. We made a film on a school for mentally challenged kids in a small village, and for the last 7 years they've been funded by an organization, so the school is functioning really well. And we made a film on a children choir which is made of kids from slums and backward communities, and they collected 38 lakhs in 45 days, and they all went to Washington DC to perform in an international choir festival. So these 3 minutes or 4 minute films are creating immediate impact and immediate change in somebody's life. So we got pretty excited, and now we are like 40 films old, and
Wow.
we are trying to make more stories. We are trying to bring in stories. So please, guys who are watching, please go and check out Big Short Films. We have a YouTube channel where all these films are there. We have an
Yeah,
Instagram
I'm
profile
going
for
to
that.
post the links in the description. So yeah, so I'll take all these details and put them on the description. So yeah, once you finish watching the video, you will see them, see the links there. Yeah, so
Super.
they
Thank you so
are
much.
very inspirational, and I have personally following Amar with respect to, of course, his pictures and his films, and they are very inspirational. So they're I mean, they can really change your life if you think correctly. Right.
Thanks, man.
Great. So, Amar, my next question to you is, so what it takes to be a successful entrepreneur?
So, interesting question. So, first, you have to define what success is for yourself, Soro. Then we'll talk about being a successful entrepreneur or a successful photographer or successful anything, right? What is success for you?
Right.
Because everybody's success is so different. The thing about the age that we are living now is we are constantly watching the highlights of somebody's life, right? We go up on Instagram or Facebook. We are looking at somebody. Oh, they traveled to Europe, and then we are like, oh my God, I've always wanted to travel to this country. I've never been to. Then the next story is they're eating in an amazing restaurant with a nice, nicely decorated dish, and then we are like, oh my God, I wanted to eat this dessert. And suddenly somebody is like hiking a Mount Everest. Oh my God, I wanted to hike Mount Everest, right? So we are constantly bombarded with the highlights of people's life. You watch
Right.
a test match 5 days, it's so boring, but if you watch an highlight of the same test match, it's so interesting, right? So it like that in social media, you're watching highlights of people's lives, and you're thinking into yourself, hey, oh my God, I didn't do this. Oh my God, I didn't do that. So first, it's very important to define what is your success. Right? I like hiking Mount Everest. I'm not pretty excited about. I don't want to go in that cold weather, hike so much. It's not my thing. I don't enjoy it. I wouldn't enjoy it. But I would rather enjoy a mountain which is 3,000 feet. Just go up, and let's say it has a very nice lake, this greenish blue, aqua blue lake on the top, which is beautiful, and you can put your legs on that and feel the cold water in that. I would enjoy that so much than hiking a Mount Everest, right? So we all think that okay, hiking Mount Everest is amazing because somebody else did it. It was exciting for him, not me. My
Right.
mountain is different. So you have to hike your own mountains,
Right.
right? So first define what is your success, then work towards it. So what takes to be that successful entrepreneur? Okay, let's say you have defined your success. You know what you want. You know what exactly makes you successful. Then what are the things that you have to do? So we all have dreams. We all want to, we all want to lose 10 kgs. We all want to be healthy. We all want to make X number of crores. All these goals, right? But what if you think 95% of them, um, they don't fulfill their goals, or they don't fulfill their dreams, because it needs several things to come together, right? It is discipline. First break your dreams into goals, right? if you defined your success, then okay, my success is making X number of lakhs or crores. My success is buying a car. My success is this. Then when once you have defined that, which is basically your goals and dreams, break them into smaller things. Okay, if I want to buy a car, I have to save X number of rupees per month starting now for the next X number of years, right? So create a system and then break down the system and continue working towards the system continuously, right? Repeatedly. So make them into habits.
Right.
So if you create that, yes, you can be a successful whatever, successful entrepreneur, successful photographer, successful anything. You know what I mean? Does it
Okay.
make sense?
Absolutely. And that's what I've been doing. And probably I've reached to quite an extent. I've reached where I wanted to be 10 years back when I was doing an IT job.
True. Yeah. See, for you, like right now, when I asked you, hey, how is it, man? You said I'm super happy in this village, right? I have internet and I have things to do, and I can go for long walk, and I'm super happy in this village, right? So
Right.
that is success. Ultimately, success is what? Being really, really happy with whatever you're doing, right?
Absolutely.
And for somebody, that is not success. For somebody, maybe staying in the village is not the success thing, right?
Right.
So we all have to define our success first and then work towards it with a lot of discipline and breaking them down into smaller habits and working towards that.
Right. Right. Great. Okay. So I'm just going to show another piece of from your website. You have such wonderful pictures. So please tell us a little bit about the pictures for which you got the Fearless Awards. So what was that picture, and so how was it like? I remember you talking about that there was a some picture where you used some transparent polythene, polythene, and then you got those shots. I remember you talking about it sometime. So yeah, please
Oh,
tell
you've
us
done
about.
your research right, Saurabh. You spent a lot of time, I think. Thank you. Um, so, I see one of the things that I always wanted to win is the Fearless Award because I have huge respect for the Fearless Awards, and I feel the pictures that win Fearless Awards are really, really, you know, really well worked on, really out of the world, really different.
Absolutely.
So that has been evading me for like 3 4 years, and then finally I was like, I believe in this thing. When you work towards something honestly and sincerely with a lot of hard work, it will happen. Universe listens continuously. Universe actually conspires to what you want, what you believe in, with your full heart.
Right.
So this day I was like, okay, I'm going for an event. This today I'm going to create something and I'm going to win the Fearless Award, man. And then you won't believe I actually stopped on the way to the shoot in a stationery store and bought some color papers, right? Like which is 10 rupees each. So I bought like red color, yellow color, and green color, and put them in the bag and then went to the event. Hmm. In fact, I was dressed really well in a kurta and all that, and then I was getting into this stationery store and to buy the color papers. They were all looking at me differently. So I got there and then went, and then I was trying different things, and then finally I had this idea where okay, what if I put them in the front of the camera and then shoot, and then see, like I said, when you believe on something, when you trust something, especially for a photographer, right? You would have you ever like had a moment where you were waiting for hours and hours and hours, and then you had a nice light, you had something going, and then you wanted a bird to fly, and the bird immediately comes in your frame.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
So many times. Yeah.
it's like you're a creator. Like we're all creators, right? We create things. And that's what happened. Like suddenly she closed her eyes, and then she had this nice moment, and then I clicked it, and then immediately after clicking it, I knew this is going to be a little different, and I came back and processed it and submitted it, and that was my first Fearless Award. And then later on, I went on to get 4 more awards, which I was excited about. But that first thing is always special.
Right. Great. So I'm just going to show this to our viewers, to the picture that you are talking about. Yeah, I think this is the picture you're talking about, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Great. Awesome. So how do you choose the best pictures, Amar, which you want to display? So are they your personal favorites, or your personal favorites are different compared to what you choose to display on your website?
So, can you repeat the question?
So the question is, there might be some of your personal favorites, and there are some pictures which people would like more. So are they same, or there are different set of images that you have for your website, and the ones which are your personal favorites?
See, the biggest thing. See, it's a tricky question, Saurabh. I'll tell you why. See, the biggest thing that you have to do as an artist or a creator is to align your personal interest with the people interest, right?
Right.
Let's say you're a music director and you'd say, hey, I love this music, it's my personal interest, this is the music that I want to put for the film. Hey, you take it or leave it, right? You cannot sustain. So the biggest thing, not only commercially, even as an artist, even if you don't want to do it commercially, let's say, right, the
Right.
biggest victory is when you align your personal favorite with the people's favorite. When your
Right.
song is going to be liked by millions, your song is going to be it. You're going to be happy. Your art is going to be relished by people, and also you're going to get paid for it, right? So
Right.
the idea should be aligning your personal interest and personal favorite with people's favorite, and that is what I am working towards, and that is what we are all working towards in a way.
Right. Right.
So most of the pictures are my favorite, my team's favorites, and people's favorite also. So and see, I also think that we should not take our work and take it so close to ourselves. We have to keep it at a distance and see it, right? When we take it so close, we can't see it. It becomes invisible. So we have to keep it at a distance and see. Yes, yeah, it's favorite, okay, but I can do better. Let me work on the next one. So in fact, I don't go back to my previous images and oh, this is the best one I did. This is my favorite one. Okay, I align my favorites with people's favorites, which is what you all have to do together. And then move on, like move on. Think about the next one. So I always keep my work at a distance. My work is not me. I'm different. My work is different.
Okay.
That's how I
So
see it.
okay. So, Amar, I see a lot of people, I mean, especially wedding photographers, putting a lot of pictures, or not, finding it little difficult to choose the right ones to display on the website or social media. So, what advice would you like to give to those people?
See, don't go with what is the in thing, right? Look, go with what is your gut feeling. Like, what is the pictures that you like? What is the style you get moved to? What is the style that affects you? What are the pictures that affects you, excites you? Put them. So the more you put those kind of pictures, the more people will know that this is your style, and the more people will hire you for that style. But if you like something else, if you're posting something else, let's say if you like something really really, like, let's say if you like clicking stories in a wedding, but you keep on putting portraits, because people love to see portraits, then you're going to get hired to do more portraits.
Right.
Slowly you're not going to have time to shoot stories. So what are the pictures that affects you, excites you, moves you? Put those pictures, keep on putting more pictures, keep on getting better at that. So you will be known for that type of pictures. People will hire you for those kind of pictures. So that is the only way to select the pictures that you want to post.
Okay. So, not based on what people like, but what is your gut feeling, and what do you think you can do well, and what are you passionate about?
Right,
So,
so
that's
that is the thing. So you have to ask yourself why, sir. Why are you doing photography? To be happy, to make money, or to make somebody else happy? So if you want to keep on being happy, you have to do the pictures that affects you, that disturbs you, that really really makes your soul happy, right? So when you keep on selecting those images, putting that and telling people this is what my style is, this is what my thing is, and create a market for those kind of images, that is what you can continuously keep on doing, and that is what will take you for a longer time.
Right.
Otherwise, ultimately, you're going to get bored of these pictures that you're displaying because somebody else is happy and you're not happy about it, right? So
Right.
ultimately, you'll be bored with that, and then you'll not do it for a long time.
Right. Great. So the next question which I'm going to ask is related to this picture. Okay. So the so you have got so many awards. Yeah, there are so many of them. Yeah, so maybe about this picture. So this in the boat, and so how do you decide the composition, and how do you conceptualize to how do you execute the whole? If you can tell us through a workflow, maybe about one shoot, that will be great.
So I'll tell generally for all the shoot. Like first, okay, you're planning all the things, you're planning the logistics, and you're there in the location and you're doing the shoot, right? But ultimately, when I'm taking pictures, I totally believe on pre-visualization. What do I see in my mind? So even before taking the camera, what do I see in my mind? What is the shot I'm seeing? Where is the couple standing? Where is, because everything in your life is a frame. Your memory is a
Right,
frame, right? Like just think about some nice moment now. It is actually a rectangular frame, and there is a subject in it, and the subject is either left or right or center or up, right? So there is a position, and they are standing or moving in some direction. They are smiling or crying, right? So everything is a frame. So in my mind, I'm thinking about the shot. When I'm thinking about the shot, I'm also not thinking about the shot that comes out of the camera. I'm thinking about the shot that comes out of the editing table, right? So ultimately, what is this picture going to look like? Is it going to be black and white? Is it going to be soft light? Is it going to be natural light? Is it going to be artificial light? Is the light come from behind? Is it going to be silhouette? So all these things I'm processing in my mind and seeing a picture in my mind before I pick up the camera. So now I know exactly what is this picture. Is it wide? Is it telephoto? Is it going to be artificial light? Is it going to be natural light? It is going to be where is the subject standing? What is going to be the pose? So all these decisions have been made even before taking the camera itself, right? So that is an
right,
important aspect of my workflow.
great,
So once that is done, it becomes really, really easy. Okay, now I know. Okay, yeah, okay, Saurabh is here. He has a fair skin. I want to show him in a nice black and white. If I want to make a portrait, I'm seeing a now I'm seeing an image where everything is black, very low key, and just his face, that fair face is coming out, right? And so now I need a softbox. I need a light, and it is going to be processed in black and white. And the softbox is coming straight up 45 degrees towards you. And Saurabh should look at the camera with the intense face. Right now, it's done. It's done. I know exactly. Now I can shoot it in a 50, 85, 135, or a 70 to 200. These are the lens I want. I pick up whatever is available. Right. So now I, so that is an important aspect of my photography. I do all these decisions in my mind first and then pick up the camera.
great.
So it is very, very important that pre-visualization process is very, very important.
So please tell us about how you spend your COVID time. So I mean, you were also quite happy. I mean, I see a lot of people, especially photographers and especially wedding photographers, they are having a bad time, saying that. I mean, it's so difficult time for us, and I don't know what will happen. So, how did you keep yourself motivated over this time?
Um, yeah, I know it's tough time not only for wedding photographers. Any industry, it is a very,
Right.
very tough time. We are going
Absolutely.
through
Absolutely.
an historic time, to say, very interesting and very challenging times. Right, any business is going through a lot of trouble, and
True.
and it is sad for so many people who cannot afford things. Yes, but that is one part of corona and covid, but there is another part to it, right? Like actually it has been a very positive time. It has been a very it's like I the way I see it personally, for me, not for the world, personally for me, it has been a great time that universe gifted me, right? Yes, we do what we love to do. There is also a disadvantage to it. You do more of it,
Right.
you sometimes burn yourself um, doing so much of it. right? And I feel I was constantly traveling, I was constantly doing, I was constantly working on it. So there was a lot of work going on and continuously, and I always kept telling myself, okay, I'll take a break next week, I'll take a break next month, I'll take a break like next year, I'll go on a 2 months vacation. But it never happened for the last 4 5 years. And then finally, even before, just before Corona happened, mm, March 16th, we were planning to do a shoot for Bharatanatyam going around different states of India. So I was in a very hectic schedule, and I was going to travel to a couple of countries. I was in a very hectic schedule, and then this happened, and it was like universe telling, "Hey, enough! You're burning yourself. Take a break. Take a pause." And also business wise, we always want to do some things that on the business side of things, like accounts, paperwork, and all that kept on delaying, right? Like, but this was an amazing time to work on those things. And also, even in terms of education, it was an amazing time for me to get better, learn new things, take up courses that I've always wanted to do, watch videos that I've always wanted to do but did not have time to do. And also personally, this is the first time I've stayed like 4 months straight in my house with family. And they loved it, I loved it. Ultimately, it has been a time also that to tell you, to make you realize what actually makes you happy in life, right? So we all think that, okay, doing this makes me happy, doing that makes me happy. Finally, you're doing everything to make yourself happy and your family happy, right? But when you do it without doing all these things, why are you doing all these things, right? So it has
Right.
been a great time to realize what is important in life, what is not important in life. You like, I literally spent 4 months with this, with 3 or 4 t-shirts, the same t-shirts, right? I never touched my wardrobe. So so many things, right? And I've always wanted to pick up yoga for the last 10 years. I would go for 2 days and then run away. But I've done like 120 days of yoga. It's amazing. So
Awesome. Awesome.
this has been an amazing time. This has been a time gifted by the universe saying, hey, take a pause, revisit what is your priority, and work on towards it. And understand, even after COVID, don't go back to your old self.
Right.
Change, right? Think about the nature, think about the environment, think about what your actions is affecting the world, right? So all this has been a very nice time, and
Right.
and I told myself, okay, it's tough not traveling, it's tough not meeting new people. Yes, it's tough sitting at home, but what can I do to become 1% better tomorrow? And
Right.
that was what I was doing every day. Okay, tomorrow I'm going to be 1% better than what I was yesterday. Tomorrow I'm going to be 1% better than yesterday. so
Great.
so I was basically continuously doing that for the last 4 months.
Great. Awesome. Awesome. So, pretty much my time was spent very similar to what you said. So, I fully agree with you. Great. And my next question to you, Amar, is yeah. So you said you did yoga straight for so many days, but I know that you have been taking good care of your health all the time. In spite being so busy in your wedding shoots. So how important it is to take care of your health, especially for a wedding photographer. I see so many people ignoring their health because they're in such a hectic schedule, and there are so many people who have a severe backache, and ultimately they have to really suffer a lot. So what is your advice to these people?
Yeah, I see this, man. I see this especially in the wedding industry, where not only photographers, right? Your decor person, your planners, they're all burnt out. Like, just you would have seen them 2 years back, and then you see them 2 years now, and they'd be like, mm, dark eyes, no,
Absolutely, absolutely.
so tired, and you can tell, okay, they have not been sleeping well for the last few
True,
months.
true, true.
Right, so it is very important, not only for you, it is very important for your clients. Unless and until you are mentally and physically active, you're not going to think about creative images. Let's say you're shooting that wedding with a pain, right, with a back pain. Are you going to think about, okay, what is this amazing shot that I can do to send it to Fearless or other awards? or oh my god, when is this going to get over, I can go home and sleep, right? So with that mindset, is your how is your pictures going to be any different or anything unique, right? So it's very very important being physically and mentally sound and active. So how do we do it? You have to come into a discipline of taking care of your nutrition, your health, your fitness. That is, and then controlling your stress, balancing your stress. Like see, so we are all going through go through stress. There is no doubt about it. Like we'll have multiple levels of stress, but striking a balance and also managing it positively, and also your sleep. So these four things are very very important. Like my friend who's a trainer, his name is Raji, always says take care of the four things. First is nutrition, fitness, that is doing some activity every day, and sleep and stress. So if you balance this, you can do really well in whatever you're doing. Not only photographers, any business, anybody, right? Like if you manage these four things, you can do
Absolutely.
really well. And for me personally, it has been an amazing time. Like the time that I put on my personal fitness has been an amazing time for me creatively also, because that is when I'm not disturbed with my phone, because I cannot use my phone. I'm not disturbed by phone calls from office or phone calls from clients. I'm not disturbed by family members. So it is an amazing time just for yourself, just for you to be with yourself, right? So even if not for shape, for arms and all that, it is a time that you spend for yourself, and it has been great. It has been greatly helpful for me in my creative journey also. It has been, that is the time I come up with a lot of ideas. Uh, usually, like especially when I'm jogging or walking, or doing some exercises, I feel my mind just throws out ideas, right? And so it is very very important to take care of your physical and mental health. Yeah.
Great. So, guys, thank you so much for watching us. I have a few more questions which I'll ask Amar. And in the meantime, if you have any questions, please type in the comment box. And so we keep doing these kind of activities every weekend. I do at least 4 interviews. So if you want to get notified, you please subscribe for our channel so that you can get notifications. So yeah, you can just type in the comments and we'll take them in some time. Okay. So Amar, my last question to you is. What are the 5 top tips that you want to give to any aspiring wedding photographer?
5 tips. This is like a nice title for YouTube, no? 5 tips from
Yes.
to be a successful wedding photographer. Um, okay, 5 tips to be successful wedding photographer. First thing is, understand your why. Why are you doing this? Right? What is your why did you come into this? Why are you doing this? Is it your business? Is it your
This is like a nice
sorry
title for you.
So is it your business? Is it your profession? It is your purpose? What is it for you? So understanding your why, and keep reminding yourself that why every now and then, because you and me have seen so many photographers who are very good at street photography, who are very good at wildlife photography, who are very good at different genres of photography, and then they will quit everything that they're doing, and then they'll come into shoot weddings, so that they'll tell themselves, okay, I'm going to shoot wedding, make some money, and do what I love to do, like let's say street photography, right? And then 2 years from then, you see, they would not have done one street assignment. They
Right.
would have totally quit, and they would have got caught in this wheel of, client calls,
Exactly.
albums, and all these, and business and team, all this, right? So ask yourself why you got into this, and ask yourself that question, maybe like every month, every week, or every now and then. Ask yourself why, and tell yourself, am I doing what I came here to do? So that is the first thing, right? And then the second thing is, if you're running a team, treat them really well. Treat them like you would want to be treated by a boss. right? That is very, very important for a wedding photographer. And lead by example, right? You cannot sit and say you go shoot and I'll just sit here and watch what you're doing, right? So you cannot do that. You have to work equally or even harder than your team members. Right, and then you need discipline. You need that discipline to pick up the call when clients call you, when they email you, respond immediately. So all these are like disciplines, right? So you have to have
Right.
this um, crazy thing to be very professional, very disciplined. So your wedding photography doesn't end when you finish shooting the wedding. It ends actually when you finish everything and deliver the deliverables and make them really happy at that stage also. So many people start really well, but the relationship gets spoiled in the middle, and that's the starting point of their mm, you know failure. So they should not do that. So discipline is another thing that wedding photographer need. And last but not the least, a wedding photographer should be a person who is who people want to be with, right? Like they should be a person who is communicating well, who is approachable, who is friendly, who's fun to be with, right? That is very, very important. See, after all the things, um, like in many of the weddings, what happens is after the wedding shoot is done, and then when we pack our bags and say bye to the family and bride and groom, they say, Guys, you did amazing work. We love you guys. You are a family. Like we didn't really feel like working with a vendor. We felt like we were working with a um, family, and amazing work, guys. And I'm standing there. I'm like, you haven't seen our pictures yet. How are you saying amazing, right? So that is the thing, right? That is very, very important. Can you, without showing your work, get a testimonial that your work was amazing? And that is what is going to make them go to their friends and tell, hey, no matter what, hire these people. Right? So these five things are really, really important for to be a very good wedding photographer.
Great, great. Thank you, Amar. That was really very thoughtful answer. Very nice. Great. So now let me see if there is any questions. So we'll take a few questions. Okay. So Mohammed Shafiuddin is asking, what kind of lighting do you use for a pre-wedding and wedding? I think this is a very vast topic, so can't be answered in a. But yeah.
No, I can answer that. So my kit always has two flashes, right? Like two flashes with a soft box. So that is my kit wherever I go, because I travel to far off places. I don't carry a lot of lights. So two flashes with two speed lights with one 80-inch soft box is what my lighting kit. So I play with that.
Okay, so just for team is asking is, despite of all the planning in the wedding, if you have a wrong lens in the wrong situation, but you have great opportunity, what aspect of visualization would you sacrifice?
What is a wrong lens? I don't understand what a wrong lens means, right? It is the lens that you have now, so it is the right lens. So what, like, so so you have to get to a stage where, um, you know, even if you don't know what is the lens that is in your bag, you should be able to shoot, right? It comes with practice. So so I don't know what a wrong lens is. Okay, let's say, for example, okay, let's say I was always pre-visualizing a wide angle shot, and then I go to the location and I say, I don't have a wide angle lens. I now have a telephoto lens. Okay, so the key there is to tell your mind, okay, it's okay. I thought about wide angle shots. It is okay. Now I don't have the lens. What can I do with what I have? What I have right now is the best lens I have, right? In the old world, it is the best lens in the old world. Okay, now I'm training my mind even before taking that lens. Okay, now I have 70 to 200. What are the shots I can make in this location? Okay, now I'm thinking. So that is where your practice and that is where your inspiration comes into play. if you have seen only like 10 photographs for the location, or you've only gone through 10 ideas, then you will have maybe 2 3 ideas. If you have gone through thousands of ideas, then you'll have hundreds of ideas, right?
Right.
So
Right.
I was never in a situation where, oh my god, I have a wrong lens. Wrong lens, that those words don't make sense to me. The lens that you have is the best lens you have, right? So for that focal length, what are the shots I can make? Now, how do I get that? Because I've shot in that focal length so many times, so I know exactly how that focal length behaves in the camera. So the key is to practice, keep shooting, and sort of see, the thing that you have to understand, and that the people who watch should understand, is what defines you as a photographer are the things that you do between the events or between the projects that you're hired to do, right? That actually defines you what type of photographer. It's not the work that you do during the work that you're hired to do for. It is actually what are the works that you do between these shoots,
Right.
right?
Right.
So this is the time you really think. This is the time you really see how a lens behaves, how a menu item behaves, how the camera behaves. So those are the times where you actually educate yourself. Those are the times which you practice yourself. The problem that happens with many people is they take the camera, shoot when they are paid to shoot, and then leave the camera in the shelf, and then never take it, and then until the next project. So then you go shoot the project. You are basically reacting there. You can't. You are not in a mindset to sit and say, okay, how does this lens behave? How does this menu item do? So you don't have time for all that.
Right.
So, but if you had taken the camera every day, if you had shot every day with the different lenses that you have, you know exactly how this lens behaves. Then there is no wrong lens. There is just different focal lengths that you want to play with, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So, what was the most difficult shoot that you have done so far? Most challenging?
Most challenging. So see, the way I work is very different. I don't see as a challenge. It's all experiences, sort of. It's, and also in terms of weddings, it becomes um, dependent on who I work with, right? What type of people I work with. So people actually define whether it was challenging or not challenging, or whether it was a happy project or not a happy project. But let's say if I'm shooting a temple, mm, yeah, the challenges may be, the weather and all that. So I wouldn't say, oh, very challenging. Maybe Iceland again, those are not challenges. Those are all experiences. Those are all different, just different adventures. That's all. I don't know if there were challenges.
Okay. Great. Great. So, thank you so much, Amar, for spending time with us. It was really great having you despite your busy schedule,
Hey,
and I
thanks,
wish
man.
you
I had fun. It was nice.
I wish all the very best for all your shoots and the other personal projects that you're doing.
Hey,
And I
thank you
hope
so much, and thank you so much for you. Like I said in the start, you've been also transforming people's life through your education and through your tours and all that, and keep doing more of that. Like I said, many I've heard this from many students of yours. That Saurabh is just amazing. His teaching techniques are really good, and keep inspiring more of keep doing more of that, and keep inspiring more people, Saurabh. And thank you for inviting me. It's been a pleasure, and I hope this content will be useful for viewers. So thanks.
absolutely, absolutely. Thank you again once again.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
watching this.
Yeah, thank you.